I can think of several people that I know have been impacted. That's just people I know. Dame, you know people who've been laid off?
A few that decided to work at some point. I know a lot of unemployed people. Period. Just not.
And then you got the underemployed, which we'll get to this video second. But underemployed, keep them in mind, right? They're the people who are no longer getting unemployment, but
that's not underemployed. That's people who chose to just leave the workforce in general. They just said F it.
Yeah,
but there's people who
they don't even count those people. Which
they don't even count them. So keep in mind, this is not them folks. This is the people who are getting who are considered in the numbers of layoffs. So let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure we got sound here because y'all about to be mad at me.
Breaking just moments ago, new data showing January was the worst month for job cuts since the 2009 Great Recession. CNN senior reporter Matt Egan is joining me now. What else is this report telling you?
Yeah, Sarah, look, this is a bad way to start 2026, right? Layoffs way up, hiring way down. So Challenger Gray and Christmas reports that during the month of January, U.S.-based employers announced just over 108,000 layoffs. Now that...
Y'all see that? 108,000. So I want to pause it so we can actually look at this. I know the screen's kind of small. Let me see if I can make it bigger for y'all. Like slightly bigger, not super duper big though. 108,435 layoff announcements. This is the highest since January 2009. They compared this to 2025 so December last year, like literally a month ago, compared to a year ago. It is up 118%. Now, if I'm not mistaken, last year there were layoffs. It's just like the end of 2025, everybody, you get a layoff and you get a layoff, and it's just busted open. So 2025, the year of the layoff, y'all. Y'all got anything before I hit play? Nope.
I mean, I've been just real quick. I mean, it's, I work for a company that buy companies. So, man, it's almost normalized at this point. You know what I mean? Like seeing those numbers, I'm not gonna say they don't shock me because
that's a lot. 100,000 in just a month.
It's a lot of people out of work, y'all. Unemployment is looking real crazy right now.
So in capitalism, is usually you got the people who have been waiting for these moments. That means that businesses are on sale. That's pretty much what it means.
Yeah.
You got ebbs and flows with everything. And when it comes for an opportunity, it's going to be distressed businesses. Guess what? People who got a little bit, they're going to come in and, hey, baby, I got $20 for you. You going to shake a little something? Yeah, I'll shake a little something. I'm going to need 80%.
The stock market kind of reflecting that.
You got 20. I got 80. Give it up. Or die.
And on top of that, it's a lot of jobs that's been invented in some of these places that proven to really bring any type of revenue in. It's a lot of vanity jobs. It's a lot of nepotism. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on for a while that they cleaning out. Stockholders have spoken. They like, what are we investing in? You know what I mean? So when that happens, and you've been hearing these rumblings for years, so it's kind of like a lead up, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's because of this."
Bring up a good point, because consumers are actually looking at value as well. So you bring up a maximum point when it comes to what am I getting for my dollars, and then if not, right? We've actually seen. I don't know if we're gonna talk about this, but today stocks have slid. For a few companies that talked about they were going to be investing in AI.
Yeah, okay, we get to that second. Let's let it play a little longer. No. let it play a little longer. We'll get into that, and we'll talk about the AI investments with that in a second. And also, we could talk about plain name. You brought up roles, and we could talk about that in a second too. So let's hold the phone on them.
Roughly double January of 2025 and roughly triple the end of last year. In fact, Sarah, as you mentioned, this is the highest since January 2009 during the Great Financial Crisis. Of course, that was just months after the collapse of Lehman Brothers. Now, as far as where the layoffs are, it's really largely in two sectors, transportation and technology, really leading the way. In fact, two companies, UPS and Amazon, account for roughly 40% of the announced layoffs. Also, healthcare, chemicals, and finance as well. Now, as far as why companies are laying off during the month of January, the leading reason was a loss of contract, market and economic conditions, restructuring as well. Artificial intelligence, as you may have guessed, also playing a role as well. So you put all this together, and again, it really paints a concerning picture about.
Okay, so leading reasons, contract laws. So anybody who does consulting, if they don't got money to pay you, they don't got money for you to consult on anything. Market and economics. So your shareholders, they're like, nah, or people, you getting money from investors and they're not putting the money in there. The conditions of it, like holding on to the money, right? Restructuring.
There's a lot of restructuring. You know
I
what
ain't even gonna touch that, man.
that's called extra jobs.
Closing.
Right.
So we talked about this on another show. We talked about an example would be the government changes. It was the One Big Beautiful Bill where there was a part of different facilities. I'm trying to remember the different facilities that no longer would get funding. And so because they didn't have the funding and like the more like the satellite more locations, I don't want to say rural, but it's like the satellite locations, those locations then shut down. And you talk about this play name, they shut down, and then now you got to go into the big city, right? That's what closings would do to that. So that's one. And then finally is AI is what the cash is pay had brought about AI. We can get the whole thing on that. We can stop here if y'all want, and we could just look at this and each of us pick something off of this. Y'all want me to go first, or y'all want to go first?
You
Sounds
go
like
ahead.
me. Okay, so artificial intelligence. So I'm gonna give you all the cliff notes. Some of these companies, you got like, you're gonna have the Microsoft, you're gonna have the Amazons, the Oracle, the anybody who has like the data centers. And we talked about this before. When you say I'm going to put it in the cloud is not literally the cloud. It's still a physical thing that your information is stored on. It's just not at your house. It's just not at your specific business, but it is in a place. And that place has a bunch of little places. Think about the Matrix, right? All these other little pieces, these little these computers everywhere, right? Cost money. And we talked about cost of water. Like all that adds up. And so what's happening is they're investing, saying, hey, AI is gonna do all these great things, but it's gonna cost X billion to keep it running. They like, really? Yes,
Who's
baby,
billion?
billions. Who's billion? Your billions. You want people?
Ours.
They said, listen, go get Robbie, who asked for 15 an hour, and just give him the 17. I don't know what's going on here. So there's gonna, I suspect leading reasons for job cuts is they're thinking short term. I don't gotta pay Robbie. That's 17. How about 0? But it's not 0 because the water, electricity, the hands and babies you gotta kiss to pull out the environment from where they are, the ability to get actual information from the humans you have there to be skilled for what you want to pull out of, all that stuff matters. It's not free. And I think the long-term costs, it's still gonna cost them. They get paid today,
Right.
They get paid tomorrow. But that's my part on AI, y'all.
Right. And then on top of that, I mean, at the end of the day, AI is about to start standing for all in.